Ted Haggard spoke on the second anniversary of the scandal that brought him down from his perch as one of the most powerful evangelicals in this country. He gave a pair of sermons at a small church in Illinois where the pastor is an old friend of his. Haggard's comments were quite revealing, and they were recorded on audio tape and put up on the internet.
The first thing I want you to know is that I sinned. I really did sin. And I'm very, very sorry that I sinned.
At the Open Bible Fellowship Church in Morrison, Illinois, Ted Haggard issued a series of apologies, including to the members of his former church in Colorado Springs and to his family.
My wife, all my shame and sin was placed on her. People treated her as if she had fallen. And my children, they all went through carrying my shame. And I am so sorry that I did that to my family.
Haggard explained that he believes the source of his behavior was abuse he suffered while in the second grade.
My dad was pretty successful. He had a lot of workers. One of those workers had a sexual experience with me. I was 7 years old.
That experience, he said, came back to haunt him when he'd reached prominence as a nationally known evangelical leader.
There I was, 50 years old, a conservative Republican, loving the Word of God, an evangelical, born again, Spirit-filled, charismatic, all those things. But some of the things that were buried in the depths of the sea from when I was in the second grade started to rage in my mind and in my heart.
Haggard did not specifically discuss how he sinned, only saying that some of the allegations against him, from former gay prostitute Mike Jones, allegations of sex and crystal meth, were exaggerated. He did reveal, however, just how devastating the resulting scandal was for him.
There came a moment in my life when we were so alone and there was so much despair that I became suicidal. And I'd figured out how I was going to kill myself and rid the world of the horrible curse of Ted Haggard.
But he said that now, with the help of God and of his wife, Gail, who stayed with him, he's being transformed.
I'm a stronger Christian than I've ever been in my life. I have a stronger marriage than I've ever had in my life.
And finally, Haggard issued an emotional critique of church leaders, who he said had missed a God-given opportunity to use the scandal to display Christian love.
I believe that he gives us opportunities every few years to communicate the gospel worldwide through secular media, and we consistently blow it. A congressperson in trouble, that's the time. A family member gets themselves in horrible trouble, that's the time. A preacher gets himself in awful trouble, that's the time.
Haggard did repeatedly say how grateful he is to the small group of people who helped him after he lost his job. The former head of the National Association of Evangelicals said he was broke at one point, living with his family in a tiny apartment, relying on others to pay their utility bills. He said he's now started an insurance company and is starting to get back on his feet. And you can hear the entire sermons if you go to abcnews.com.